And with all those young fleeing our nests, we clearly need a few more to keep us going through the remainder of the series. So we've got some cameras on some new ones. One of them is a robin's nest. Let's go to it live now. You can just see one of the 5 chicks' eggs there on the left-hand side poking out. But we've been watching them very closely. Both adults have been busy. It's inside, like many robins that choose to build inside our garages and sheds. This one is in the RSPB's tool barn. As I say, 5 chicks, and they've been bringing plenty of insect prey, including some large items. 4 spotted chaser dragonfly here. Can't imagine that didn't go down without a fight. And here, large yellow underwing, clearly spotted that moth, failed to hide somewhere. Both adults feeding the insect prey to those robins. And just in case you're wondering, the answer is long spades. There we are. And they seem to be going strong. Of course, we'll catch up with those next week.
I like that nest. You know, that's the first time we've had a robin's nest in 4 years.
Is that right?
Yeah, I like a little robin's nest.
Last week, we introduced you to our robins. They're nesting in the barn that the RSPB use. We can cut to them live there now. They're alongside the long spades, as you can see. And there we are, that's it, they're live now. You can just see at the head of one of the birds there, they're already getting that very characteristic speckly plumage that young robins have. We've been watching them for a little while. Here they are. Adults have been out and about collecting lots of different insects. Unlike the sand martins, which are taking those very small flying insects, the robins are a lot less specialised. They're out in the fields, they're out in the hedgerow, they're out in the woods. Anything of the right size that they can catch and bring to their young, they will. We've seen them bringing in large moths. Here, a dragonfly. That particular youngster hasn't got a taste for dragonflies, so the adult can't let it go to waste, takes it away and gives it to one of its siblings that wolfs it down straight away. But they're great generalists, the robins. That's one of the reasons why they're so successful. But these youngsters have been very active. They've been jumping about. This one nearly falls out of the nest here. They've been wing flapping. So they are one of those nests that you should be keeping an eye on. Remember, you can watch them 7 till 10 every single day because fledging is on the cards with those young robins amongst the long spades.
It's another nest that I'm really hopeful for because being in the shed with the long spades means that there's lots of people around and they should be better protected, you know. Well, that's what I hope anyway.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
You won that bet. But let's do the robins first, because you might have won that one. But what did you say for the robins?
I said the robins would leave on Thursday. Today is Wednesday.
I said Saturday. Let's see.
Let's see what's been going on in the last 24 hours in that robin's nest. The nest, as you know, if you've been watching previously, is in one of the RSPB's barns here. Use it for their tractors and tools. Robins are in and out all the time. They don't mind the human activity. They've accustomed themselves to that long ago. And we've been watching both of the adults bringing in a great range of different invertebrate food. Here they go, bring in yet more food. Got 4 youngsters in the nest here. This was yesterday. And they look quite small here, snuggled down in the nest with just their gapes showing. As I say, those adults are backwards and forwards all the time. Here, they look a little larger. You can see they've got that lovely speckled plumage that we see on our young robins. And here we are this morning, 4:21. First one takes itself to the brink and then takes a bold step for robin kind as it launches itself into the somewhat wider world. It's a little later before the second one decides to leave and it sneaks out the back. Maybe a wise move. It's found itself somewhere secure up in the rafters. Eventually finds somewhere to settle, has a little bit of a tumble, but it ends up in amongst the tools, so it's going to be perfectly safe there. And of course the adults, when they come back in, will hear those chicks calling and they'll find them to feed them. Not long after that one went, the third chick is again on the edge of the nest. Here it goes. And that left just one in the nest. Adults are coming in, feeding them, just as I say, that double contact call will work. And I was thinking, go on, just stay there. All you got to do is hang around for 12 hours, wait till tomorrow morning. But sadly, just after 12, well, sadly and gladly, the last little robin flew out of the nest.
So you got that one wrong. I got it very wrong.
Well,
so I
within
said
12
Saturday.
hours.
I know. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving you credit here. You got one right. You got one nearly right. I'm not going to give you £1. Instead, I'm going to give you the long spade from the shed.
Spade. Look at that. I love a long spade. Look how long that shaft is. That's got to be, what, 170, 175 centimetres of shaft. What a spade.
You are so chuffed with that. Look at your little happy
Look,
face.
listen, it's a
Bless
bloke thing, right?
It
You know,
really is a
we
bloke
love
thing,
a
isn't it?
spade like this. I could dig something that you might slide into with if you can.
Charming, charming.